think it's a
Oh, I
problem
didn't
with
know
me.
you were recording. Just drop chocolate on me.
That's okay.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Welcome to Casual Mode, episode 26. I'm here with Carl. Hi, Carl.
Hello for the second time, Daniel.
Second time. Powerful coloured top. Red
Who's?
top. Your one?
I never wear this. I've stopped drinking again, so I'm trying to express myself in my fashion rather than an exuberant vocal session where I just, fire complaints at you and you have to listen to them. So I'm just going to use this to externalize my emotion instead.
Like the like an emotion. You look like anger. Your face is quite red as well.
I think that's it's like when you hold a buttercup at your chin. I also just got out of the bath.
I don't have a chin, so I wouldn't know. You got out of the bath. Right.
Yeah, in a bath. Yeah.
We spoke about morning routines in the first one, so I'm not going to say that now. But so you get up at 8:55 is basically what you told me when you're at home.
I think we should go through it again for the benefit of people who,
All right. Okay. So what's your morning routine? What you eating in the morning and drinking? What you ingesting?
Well, the first thing I do in the morning is I thank God, because He wakes me up at 8:55 before I start work at 9. I normally just grab my laptop, reply to emails that the other tryhards have been sending overnight, and get ready for the day. Get downstairs into the conservatory, and tackle the day. Say good morning to the troops. Ask them how their evening was or their weekend, depending on the day.
So I feel like I'm dressed like Enzo Maresca today. I like training top on. Nice little salmon colour. You look like you're a alcoholic golfer.
Because the red face.
The red face and the polo kind of golf top.
If I'm anything like my granddad, my nose will start to discolour as I get older, and he'll say that's genetic, and I will also lean on that, but it won't be. My granddad, he used to have like a darker coloured nose, like Alex Ferguson. So, yeah.
Okay, all right. Whiskey.
I think so. Or does it happen with wine as well?
I don't know.
He was a big wine drinker, wasn't he, Sir Alex? He's not dead. My granddad is, though. Boy, Sir Alex isn't.
For God's sake. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
What are we talking about again? Oh yeah.
My poor granddad would hate me wearing this colour. Coffee, yeah. So yeah, I have 10 coffees a day when I'm at home. Less when I'm in the office.
Your stomach must be in bits. Like, do you have like a regular bowel movement, or are you consistent?
I have a few a day.
At set times is basically what I'm asking, or are you
no?
all over the shop?
So it depends how. After when I've had 2 or 3 coffees, they say that the caffeine stimulates your lower bits, doesn't it? Your bowels, and it stimulates the movement. So I think I have a few of those, and then it goes.
But it's just saying you get a semi on when you have a coffee. I was like, okay, bit forward.
Whoa,
stimulated.
Yeah, this is not for you. This is for the coffee. This
is for the beans.
Yeah. Well, that's a problem. It's like, do you know how they say like red sky at night, sailor's delight, red sky at morning, sailor's warning? I've got like a similar thing, but when I have spicy food the day before and then coffee the next morning.
Yeah, but that's everyone. Everyone would be like that. But your 10 cups of coffee makes perfect sense as to why you were like bursting out the seat in the car drive home that time.
Yeah, I know.
Horrendous.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, there we go.
It was a red sky last night as well, actually. Did you see the sun last night? It was amazing.
I didn't know. We're recording this on the Wednesday, 11th?
Yeah.
Wednesday 11th.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Just feeling the airwaves.
Okay. Not a lot to talk about. Made this joke before, but do it again. Apart from got a Nintendo Switch too. You got one as well. You got 3.
I got 2 of them.
You got
I got
5.
2. I got 2 of them.
You got 9.
Nintendo Switch 2 squared. So Nintendo Switch 4.
Nintendo Switch 4. Like, Adam, do that thing together where people go, "Hey, it's Nintendo Switch 4," and then they sellotape them together. We've never seen that when people do it with other consoles.
No, I'm leaving it in the box so I can sell it.
Okay. Well, there's been 3.5 million sold. Maybe it was just that one supplier that's accidentally sent out 1.5 million.
Possibly.
Extra.
Yeah.
Could be that.
Would it not be 1.75 million extra?
Let's talk about the games. So there's not a lot. Not a lot of exclusives anyway. I think you made the point before that there are quite a few other games on it now on the Switch 2 that weren't on the Switch, and that is potentially the pull of the console. But people are buying it, so what are you thinking? Welcome Tour, any good?
Rubbish.
Same.
Yeah, welcome Boar.
Welcome Boar. Welcome.
Yeah, I played through 30 minutes of it.
Welcome Snore.
Welcome Snore. Oh no, we're gonna have to do this now, aren't we? Well, I've got to think original things without the help of ChatGPT. Oh god.
I don't know. What do I do? I'm not an original thinker anymore.
Welcome.
Make another joke about your dad. Thank you, GPT. Keep going. Okay, so Welcome Tour not great, but World Tour, Mario Kart 9.
The problem we've got, because this also ends in tour, unfortunately, all of those negative rhymes that we made translate.
Could also apply. Is it Welcome Tour or Welcome Snore?
Give me more!
Or give me no more. That doesn't, not quite the same thing. We've enjoyed Mario Kart. I felt it's probably
good.
Fine.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's okay.
I think it's a good Mario Kart game. I think the changes they've done have worked. I am disappointed that my algorithm on Instagram over the past 2 days has been people who are ridiculous, who like jump on walls, jump off, and like do amazing shortcuts. I get the impression that people like yourself, who are all obnoxious most of the time, will just try and learn those and just game the system. And that makes me feel sad, but it just means you'll get extra blue shells, which I know fill you with rage. So the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh.
Yeah, Mario Lord taketh. I mean, yes, I'm not going to learn any of those things, by the way. But yes, I agree. Yeah, you would. That's exactly, because you're trying to paint me out as the picture of what you actually are going to do.
No.
You are?
I'm the nice guy. You're the bad guy. We've established this.
You're not.
We've established this.
You're not.
People don't resonate.
I've got the receipts. You're not.
I deleted it.
Not just that one.
Ah, dear.
That red shirt.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm a Sith Lord.
Sith Phyllis Lord.
Oh.
Not great.
Great.
But yeah, Mario Kart, fine. It's okay. If you want to buy a Switch 2 and you've got kids, probably worth getting Mario Kart. What else have you played on it? Have you bought any other games, or have you... Breath of the Wild, you're playing that for a bit. Said it looked good.
That was literally just to see how it looked. Which yeah, it did look great. I think I definitely want to play it. I know I played the first time round. I played 6 or 7 hours of it.
Tears of the Kingdom's great. Just for anyone that is curious, that's a very, very good game, and is vastly improved.
Yeah, have you played much of it on the Switch DOS?
About half an hour of it, just testing it out, making sure it's fine.
Big spender. Cool. You bought the upgrade. It was a free upgrade, isn't it? With the okay. Fair enough.
Which is good, to be fair, because I think I was like predisposition like the PS5 Pro release, where it was like, oh, you're gonna have to pay for some of these updates, and I was like, oh, okay. And then even PS5, when that came out, there was PS4 games that was giving updates for that. Yeah. It's like, well, you have to pay for those. Maybe it'll be tenner, maybe it'll be free. You don't know. So yeah, I'm quite happy that most of the upgrades are free, which are decent.
Yeah, but like, I do think if they put time and effort in to do, I don't know, obviously how intensive it is to go through that upgrade process. I don't know if it's literally just that they're changing the build they release to say, run at this resolution, show this many characters rather than that many characters, change the maximum refresh rate. I don't know if it's like almost like menial work, or if there's genuine elements of redevelopment there on their side. If there's an element of redevelopment and it's only like an extra tenner, that's absolutely fine. If it is just like effectively in the background they're changing the build so that they're changing like the graphic settings in a settings panel, then that's a bit sly.
Yeah, it's a bit rubbish. Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not. That's just speculation.
It's speculation.
Don't sue me.
Other things that are coming out. So games this year.
Hey.
Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is July 17th. Still on the fence about that. I'll kind of wait for reviews. Drag X Drive, which is in 2025 summer. Hyrule Warriors, The Age of Imprisonment. Weird name. Planned for winter this year. Splatoon Raiders, single player spin-off of Splatoon. No date for that. We've got the new Pokemon game, X, whatever it's called. Looks awful. That's this year as well. A few other games. So, yeah, I mean, not a massive amount at the moment. I think we're due a direct, hopefully with an idea of something that's going to come out for it.
I did go through the coming soon section on the eStore. Yeah, it is underwhelming. I think it's so, like, because of that underwhelming nature, I would never typically buy the Donkey Kong game. I might just buy it just because
it's the only thing to buy.
I'm interested to see how it is.
Yeah, same.
I'm watching a video of it right now. It actually looks alright.
It looks fine.
But is it going to be £70?
Yeah.
I don't think that's good.
Not great. Yeah, not great. Okay, so that's the game. So do you want to talk a bit about the actual console itself? You got yours there?
Let's. Mine is in the other room.
Oh, terrible angle there.
Trailer Park Boys.
Kiddies. I really like it. We kind of spoke about it on the YouTube video the other day, which you can find at youtube.com/casual mode. The UI is pretty much the same. There's like a heap more noises and it feels a lot more tactile. You still can only get 2 themes, which are black and white.
That's bad, isn't it?
Michael
That's
Jackson.
Bad.
The eShop is like the best part, really, because it's the speed that you would expect an online shop to be for the first time in Nintendo history, which is hilarious. The virtual game carts thing, I mean, what do you think of that, like, in terms of how it's pitched?
I actually don't mind the concept. I think it's a cool concept, especially if you live in a household where you've got multiple devices and you.
My favourite noise as well, by the way. Oh,
That's...
ready?
Oh. I like the idea if you've got like multiple consoles. It's almost like you're like borrowing them digitally. I like that. I do think though it is the gateway drug to digital only in the future.
Yes, of course it is.
I
don't think
right,
literally.
Can I ask the question if you don't want the answer?
No. I thought it was a great answer. There's nothing to add from my side.
I played No Man's Sky as well, and No Man's Sky is pretty cool.
I bought that because you were playing it.
Pretty...
Every single one of these little icons on the bottom makes a fantastic noise when you select it. So like just even settings, listen. Oh, ready? So next one, that's the game cart. Controllers, ready?
Doom,
oh,
doom, doom,
clunky. Game share, ready? You should patch that in. Actually, what? Album. Oh, like eShop. Like it's just news, and then game chat, and Switch Online. They've all got great noises. It's really good.
Do you not think it's a bit underwhelming though? Because it's basically the same, and I mean the lack of themes is rubbish.
I'm hopeful that they will bring things out for it.
I bet you said that 7 years ago when the original Switch came out.
When we did the Switch Island. I was like, yeah, they'll update it, surely. And they didn't. They never did. No. But I'm hopeful.
Do you know how you could update them?
If
you jailbreak the device.
Okay.
Not that I would ever condone that.
Not that we ever do that.
Not that I've got a second Switch just sat in a box, not being updated.
Yeah. I don't fancy it. But I think the point to make is that it is a marked improvement in terms of speed, which it was going to be because the innards are better. Yeah. And I think it's probably, out of all of the consoles, my favourite UI. Just because it's so clean, easy to use, and there's no it's not clutter at all. It's just very, very simple.
I think that's true.
Which is fine. Like you said, I think I would prefer a theme on there, but apart from that, absolutely fine. Talk to me about the actual hardware then.
Oh, okay. I don't know them from memory. I think it's got 12 gig of memory in general, which is pretty good. Oh, you mean like as in like?
I don't have to do tech specs. I mean, they're pretty well publicised anyway. But
all right. Okay. Well, I think the controllers are much improved. I love the way they connect in the devices. That noise as well is satisfying. I like that. It's just so good.
Here we go. ASMR. Ready? Oh, teasing it.
Yeah, it's good. It's very like assured, isn't it? The click. It's a much better job. The actual the card reader, the plastic that covers that, didn't like that.
That part in the back.
The stand feels like it might bend.
That card reader there.
Yeah. No, I don't mean that one. I mean the other one. Sorry.
Oh, the one on the top. Yeah, I mean, I prefer it being that way because I'm like you, I bite my nails, so I preferred it being that way around, where you clip it there, whereas previously it used to be at the top, and I was like, oh.
I tried to do that first time around.
Okay.
But yeah. Well, overall, I think the screen is fantastic. We went through that before, obviously in the actual Switch video, which is a great video.
Good video
indeed. Well edited by a thankless task really. From some I'd say quarters, but there's only two of us, so let's say there's from some halves of the production crew. Not a thank you, and that took at least half an hour.
I can't cope with you sometimes. Like literally,
sorry.
Spoiled rotten, and you treat me like this.
I do. So
I do.
I think it's really nice as a device. It may be slightly overpriced, but maybe that's the lack of games. But then, in saying that, I did see a video of a side by side comparison of the PS4 Pro and the Switch 2 playing Cyberpunk, and the Switch 2 was playing it much better. And I think that's a good sign, because Cyberpunk's going to be a heavily kind of targeted game because it's got an NVIDIA chip on the device. They've got a partnership with NVIDIA, so they're always going to want to make that look good as part of that partnership. But I think it's a good sign, because it means that if people do invest in the platform, they can get performance at the PS4 Pro level. Then that's pretty cool for a handheld.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good point to make. I think what I have seen of certain games running on it, like Cyberpunk again, it just feels slicker, and it's got whether or not, I don't know, thinking about that actually, would the PS4 Pro, the support for it just not be there anymore? And therefore people have optimized more on Switch 2 because it's newer, maybe, I don't know. But even
there's that,
so,
and there's also the fact that you've got a newer architecture in the Switch 2, as much as it's not exactly powerful. It's a more modern architecture, so it will be able to use like frame generation to smoothen things out, and it's got ray tracing cores in there. So.
No, it is impressive. Like in terms of the handheld, is there anything you would, if you were to look at your other handhelds, specifically the Steam Deck?
Okay.
Because I think that's probably the most recent one that you've got. Would you say there's anything on the Steam Deck that is better?
Yeah, loads.
What would you say?
I mean, the Steam Deck is a computer, so I could work off that. In terms of flexibility,
but you don't know.
A ridiculous package. I don't, because
you could, but you don't. That's my point. Is like practically like something that is within the use. Oh, so within a regular use on that console, is there anything different that you would have on the Switch 2?
An abundance of things. So the Switch, the Steam Deck has the ability to use other stores. So you can buy games at a much better rate. You've got mouse support via the trackpads, which I like. I've not actually used the Joy-Con mouse yet. I assume it's going to be fine. I mean, the PC in terms of a platform, that's basically majority of games. Obviously, the Nintendo exclusive doesn't have, but there's not that many of them on the Switch 2. As of yet, it's obviously very early. I like the fact that it's got Linux underneath it. I like the fact it's got an internet browser, so I can go on YouTube. I've still got YouTube in my virtual card section, but I think they discontinued YouTube on the original Switch, so I can download it, but I can't run it.
So I think
the Steam Deck is very good.
The Steam Deck's good.
The Switch 2 is better.
Yeah, I agree. And the hold, the feel of the Steam Deck, I think the Switch 2 is probably better as well in terms of like how big the thing is and just practically how you cart it around.
Yeah.
My only thing with the Steam Deck versus Switch 2, the Switch 2 just runs games. Like, there's no tinkering, it just runs games. Like, you play the game, that's it. Whereas Steam Deck, it's there for the tinkerers. It's the people that want to go and make it run a little bit better. Basically, what you're like, putting RGB on the bloody back of it or whatever it might be. Oh, it's got a new heatsink. Oh, I've upgraded the thing.
Aren't you 33 now, Carl? Shut up.
It doesn't matter. But that's my point. Is that's where the Steam Deck excels. Is that kind of end user rather than Switch 2 just works, and it's because it's meant to be for kids. But yeah, primarily if you're an adult, just want to pick up a handheld, play games on it, go and get a Steam Deck. Yeah. Basically, is what you would say. I would say go and get a Switch 2.
I'd agree with that. I'd say I would have two categories. Okay, so I would say those who have a Steam Deck, those who have a Switch 2, those who have an Android phone, those who have an iPhone, those who are adults, those who are children, and that's how it should be.
Okay. The one thing I will say is some of the peripherals are absolutely fantastic for it as well. Like that Hori camera is just nom. I love having that on my desk. It's so funny.
Just quickly, the bottom part of it. Can you remove the bottom part? That's so you can That's how you can put it on top when you're playing hands-free.
Oh, see, I just thought that was like the webcam feature I've got.
Is there a Type-C on the bottom of it?
Yes, well there.
Okay, so you can have a flexi cable from there into the Type. That's very cool.
Yeah, it's good, but I wouldn't want that on here. Let's have a go. I'll have a look.
Oh, that's
no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
is there a special place where it goes?
Oh, no.
Pardon?
Pardon? Yeah, what?
Not that one. It's my birthday.
Just the one.
No. Does it stay?
Pardon?
Does it stay?
Strange shout line. Yes. No.
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 That reminds me, we've still. Have you been having whiskey again? You need to put the screen protector on yours as well.
I've done it. I got one with a rather nice case that I got for. It's an early Father's Day present.
You got any bubbles on your screen, or did you do it nice?
No, I did it really well. I'm very proud of myself. It's the best screen protector.
That Belkin one's super nice. That case with the built-in portable battery.
Oh, the Belkin one. You tend to buy that.
£50. Yeah. How much was that?
Like 24, I think, on Amazon.
Sorry, but having a case with a built-in battery.
Oh no, great! Yeah, fantastic.
Wow.
Have you seen the battery reset that people have had to do, or the recalibration that people need to do?
No, but I think I need to do it because
I think I need to do
about it.
Yeah, so basically, if your battery looks like it's going down too quick, the percentage on the screen isn't relative to the actual what's remaining in the battery, and you have to. There's a well-trodden guide now from Nintendo telling you how to recalibrate it, and you have to do it maybe a few times, but it seems to be worth it. Another quick mention just for a fantastic peripheral, but
the sticks on that felt really nice. I tried them the other day.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they haven't got the Hall effect, and they're going to be prone to drift, which is
even on the Pro controller.
Even on a Pro controller,
that's unacceptable. Not on a Pro controller.
Very
for
silly.
That price.
Yeah,
is that £99?
No, 60, I think.
Oh, it's not a Pro. It's not. I mean, £60 isn't a Pro device, is it? It's like
for a Nintendo device, it is. I mean, it's still their Pro controller. They've labeled it as Pro. You know, it's got the mappable buttons and all that kind of stuff that others have. But yeah, in terms of like premium feel, I really love this controller. It's so easy to hold, and I just quite like that.
£75 it is.
How much?
Yeah, 75.
I thought it was cheaper. I'm sure I got it cheaper. 65, I'm sure. Could be talking after my bum.
Not Hall effect. That's really bad. That.
I know, disappointing. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what games come out for it, and there's a heap of other games coming out this year. I know Silk Song's coming out on the Xbox, but that makes perfect sense to play on the Switch too, even when it comes out. So, yeah. I
just hope, especially in these early years, that I mean, I'll probably be in a minority having this opinion, but I always think of the Switch as like a lower tier of games. So I just hope now that this is reasonably reasonably competent given the kind of he can run Cyberpunk for God's sake. Well, so can you stop doing that, please? Camera on camera action.
Cam girl.
I hope that they bring out some proper heavy hitting games.
I think they will. I mean, look, the IP that they've got, they're going to. It's just the timing of it. And I think what might be underwhelming is if it's not been as well planned because they've just wanted to get the console out, and we haven't got a Zelda, or we haven't got a Mario coming this year, or we haven't got Luigi's Mansion, or something else, like a game that people are going, or even a new IP. God forbid, we haven't had one of those in a while. Let's kind of see where we get to. But even just like a port, like bring a port, like a remaster of.
We have to.
God of Waker again. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway,
Halo was rumored, wasn't it?
Yeah, still. But then I think you'll get Game Pass on that by middle of next year.
Game Pass on the Switch?
Yeah.
That would be unbelievable.
Yeah, I think so.
Unbelievable.
Well, if they're going to put it on this new handheld, which we're going to talk about in a bit. In fact, should we talk about that now? Because it's kind of handheld.
Should we segue? Do
you want to segue? You want to segue? It's a new Xbox handheld. ROG. What do you think?
I want to hear what you think.
I think this the death rattle of Microsoft.
I don't think so. I actually think this is a really astute move.
Why?
So what they've done is they've allowed Xbox to take over Windows on these devices, and Xbox have gone all Doge and basically said, don't need that, we don't need that, and they've cut away massively at Windows to help with speed of loading time, performance of that operating system. They've also done things like improved the sleep performance, so like you can put in your console into sleep mode like you do on a console. Quite difficult to do that on a Windows based device, so they made changes there as well. So actually they're making a lot of optimization in Windows, which may actually translate back over to general Windows usage, which should be pretty cool.
In just having a slim version of Windows for game use or something in the future? Okay.
Or just a version of Windows where you can opt into the extra functionality if that's something that you need, but if you don't, you can have a rapid experience on general Windows for just general computer usage. Like, why would you not want to do that? So yeah, there's that. Even stuff like you don't even have a desktop environment when you spin it up. So literally it's just loading into like the Xbox UI. I think that's great. They're opening it up so you can install it on other devices, so you can run it on a Steam Deck if you want to. That's a good move, because that means that the Steam Deck, which is a competent device, you can have Windows run on it, full fat Windows if you want to use that, which is something that I like. Or you can run just your gaming interface, but it's Windows, so anti-cheat is no longer an issue. So you can start to play FIFA on Steam Deck, which you can't currently do. So I think it's a really positive move. I think they've probably rode that wave of negativity for a long time, knowing they were working towards something. And I actually think that this device, I think it looks like it's going to be like £800 as a minimum. This device looks impressive, but it's beefy. It's heavy compared to a Steam Deck. The CPU they've got in there looks amazing. The Z2 Extreme, I think it's called. I think it looks interesting. I'm not going to pay £800 for it, because that, again, an £800 device, like this, I could work on the Steam Deck. An £800 device, I could work on that, no problem at all. It's got how many cores has it got? It's mad. Z2 Extreme.
Two versions, so you get the ROG Xbox Ally, which is AMD Ryzen Z2A, 16GB memory, 512GB storage, or the Xbox Ally X, which was Ryzen Z2 Extreme, 24GB memory, 1TB storage. That is absolutely
8 cores, 16 threads. The GPU cores, okay, so it's RDNA 3.5. So my graphics card's RDNA 4. So I think am I right? I think it's RDNA 4. So I think it's slightly behind on the internal GPU. But like for a handheld, I think it's RDNA 2 in the Steam Deck.
I think it's gonna get hot.
That's why it's so thick though. It's got so much cooling.
Needs the cooling. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I quite liked how they were pitching it like full screen Xbox, which is a good way of kind of like selling it to people. But the reason I think it's the death rattle, I don't think Microsoft needed another pushing the boundaries handheld with all of the innards of like a top range PC. That's not what, to me, console gaming should be about. It shouldn't be necessarily pushing the boundaries of what's possible within the peripherals that you're putting out. Nintendo have nailed that, even with the original Switch and just last couple of years. Sony, I think, even with the PS5 Pro, like, again, it was just a good iterative step. They got it out, it made sense. But there's nothing on the horizon for a new home console. This seems to be the thing that they're putting their eggs into, which is fine, but what is stopping Valve bringing out a Steam Deck 2 that they're already planning already, or probably in production for it, and completely blowing this out of the water within a month of it being out, or a month before it comes out, or even on the day that pre-orders go live, they just announce we're bringing this out and here's a really cool video explaining it. To be fair, mate, Summer Games Fest, there's nothing stopping it coming out there, and then this dies.
But they're not going to though anyway. They've said they're not going to bring one out for a few years.
But Xbox said the same.
Your point still stands. I think they probably looked at like the market around them and just gone, either we continue to try and compete with Sony, who have obviously demolished them over the past year. I think your stats you gave were like, was it 12 to 4 million in terms of sales or something?
That's insane.
It was. So maybe they just looked at it and gone, we're not going to win there. They've seen what the Steam Deck's done to the handheld market in terms of a slightly. When it first came out, it's just now like 4 years ago. I think they had a different target market to the Switch. I think they've realised there's an opportunity there. I mean, this device in general, having a 8-core, 16-thread CPU on a handheld device is great, and the fact that it's got the 16 cores of graphics on board is great, but it also comes with Thunderbolt 4. So if you're at home with that device, you can then dock an external GPU in there, and you've got an 8-core, 16-thread CPU.
But that's the future. Yeah.
Possibly it is, but the thing is, people have been saying that for years, though. I mean, people have been saying you're going to get a phone with like where you wirelessly transmit your display to your monitor from like contactless, drop it on your desk, and it just boom. And like Windows tried to do that, and the HP at one point had a device which did that as well. I think it was using WebOS a long time ago. Like, people have tried to do that, and it hasn't taken off yet. Maybe because technology wasn't ready, but
I'd say so. I think that has to be the future, and in terms of where console gaming is, the appetite clearly from early adopters to mass market. I want to be able to take my games with me on the go and play them where I want. Yeah. Now, Sony, I think it was a smaller fumble. I still absolutely love the
or the Vita, or both.
Both. Yeah, the Portal specifically, like, absolutely love the Portal. I think it's fantastic, great for around the house, or if the main telly's being used or whatever. I just want to play something downstairs. Even like the latency whenever I'm playing Clair Obscur is fine. Like, and that's a complicated game, when you're parrying. So you do, yeah, okay. Finished the game, have we? So there's that, and then I think the fumble with that was it should have been a fully fledged Vita. It should have allowed you to play that game on the go, even if it was one game or two games, whatever it might be. Yeah. There should have been that option. That's the thing. I know that's what they're building for, and that there was rumours today that I saw PlayStation 6 handheld leak reveals early specs. This is over on a GameSpot. Upscaling, 16GB RAM and more. So again, a new leak for the handheld, and it's just non-stop rumours, but it just feels like everything has been handheld now for the last 2-3 years. The appetite is clearly there. Yeah. I think it's a the Metroid analogy of going back and opening the door with a power up. People have gone, right, people don't want a Vita anymore, and Sony kind of left it for a couple of years, and now they're realising that, no, with the technology we've now got and the ability to take most of our games on the go, and the fact that there's such a mass market appeal of like Switch and Steam Deck, why wouldn't we get into that? I think Xbox have rushed it. I don't think partnering with ROG is great. I don't think allowing other...
Why?
Well, they've had to allow Steam on that platform. And if Game Pass is going to be this mass market thing, I wouldn't be putting it on a handheld console where I could potentially go and buy the game that you're giving to me on Game Pass for £2 or £3, £4, £5, as opposed to paying for the premium of a subscription. And I think that's a challenge and that's a problem. I think as soon as you stack up that proposition and go, I've got a home console with Game Pass on it, kind of still makes sense in 2025. In 2026, when that's on handheld with Steam, again, what's to stop Valve just going, you know what developer sales, great, well, we're going to sell all of these cool games from Square Enix for a quarter of the cost or whatever it might be, or we're just going to, just doesn't feel like as much of a good proposition when it's up against Steam.
Yeah, but they're in control of that though. So
let's say for who are
Microsoft are in control of it. They're the ones who control the operating system. They're the ones making these changes. Let's say in the future they bring out Windows 11 or Windows whatever Xbox edition, and they then because they did it with ARM with when they had Windows 8 with ARM, you could only install applications from the Windows Store, and they could just control what goes on that store.
But then
they could do the same.
But yeah, okay, I get your point. I think where I'm going to go back to it, and at the moment, the quality of game on Steam, and you get Xbox as a publisher on there, and you get other like Sony as a publisher on there, but the mass market, the quality of game on Steam is far, far higher than that of Xbox as a sole publisher. All Xbox are doing is degrading their proposition by putting it onto other consoles that aren't necessarily Xbox exclusive consoles. It makes sense. Sorry,
no, you go.
Finish the one point, only because I don't think Xbox have released a game in the last 5 years that hasn't felt the standard of like an Ubisoft game. All the games
that's scathing, that
it is scathing, but I don't think there has been. There's not been nothing that's pushed boundaries. There's not been a Horizon. There's not been a God of War. There's not been, even just like there's not been anything from that publishing house that's got me out of my chair. It did when things were announced, like Halo Infinite, like got me out of my chair. I was like, this looks fantastic, but I very quickly sat back because I was like, well, you know what? We played it for a few days and the multiplayer's fine, but again, as a game, there's nothing pulling me back into it. It's not pushing anything new. And I think that's what I'm worried about.
Pro Skater 3 and 4 is day one on Game Pass. So if they continue to put partnerships there where that £10 a month, or I don't even know how much I pay for it and never use it, but if they keep putting games on that service that you will be willing to pay for, you're going to carry on paying for that streaming service for it instead. But
I just don't think I don't think it's a service that people want anymore. So I think people want specific games, but I don't think they want the overwhelming feeling that they've got to play all of the games and download all of the games. Because if anything, I think that cripples people from actually playing games. Like, if I've got a PlayStation option, I would sooner go and buy the game full price than go, you know what, I've got it on Game Pass. I don't know why, but that's my appetite at the moment. And even then, if I've got a cheaper option on Steam to go and buy Final Fantasy 15 comes onto Game Pass, let's say, because they're putting all the Square Enix games on there, and I can go and buy that on Steam for £6, or I can pay £10 a month or whatever it might be, £15 a month for and that's only going to go up. That cost is never going to stay static. That's only ever going to go up, that subscription. So that'll become untenable, like Netflix does in a couple of years' time, because it's going to eat itself. Like, I just don't think it's going to have the caliber of game to make me want to pay that subscription all the time. The only time I'll ever want to do it is if it's releasing Fable and it's quite literally going, you can only play this on our platform. Regardless of handheld or whatever it is, you can only play this on our platform. That would make me go, you know what, I'd sooner go and... If it brought... Sorry, again, to that point, but if Fable released at £50 on a PlayStation 5, rather than it dropping on Game Pass and me having to play it on my PC, I would be torn as to where I bought that game. Or what I subscribe to.
I've had Steam probably for... I'm 33. I've had Steam probably nearly 20 years now. So I'm quite used to... I mean, obviously I like...
Your library is disgusting on that as well. Like.
I know. It's 20 years, you know what I mean? You get a bit of baggage. So I'm well used to not like physically owning the games that I've paid for, that I've licensed in effect. But I also do go out my way to buy things if I really like them. So I think I'm in a better place than you for that. In terms of Game Pass, I've just played 50, 60 hours of Clair Obscur. I have not paid for it. I've just paid for the service that it comes on. So that's No, I have. You're right, but I have not had to pay specifically for that game. So I can definitely see how every now and then the partnerships they've got, that brings value to me still as a service. And I think I'll play Tony Hawk's when it comes out as well, definitely on the PC because it's included, so why not? I also think maybe this is a gamble from their side in two ways. One is that they've seen how services like GeForce Now are able to deliver really low latency streamed games, and they think over time, A, they could offer that as a service as part of what they do, and B, they can also leverage that same technology to make Game Pass even better. That's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if they can manage to get the majority of manufacturers to use Windows rather than using Steam OS, maybe by like the licensing costs being negligible, so they can kind of corner the market, or maybe they work with publishers or developers of games so they carry on using anti-cheat systems that mean that any Linux-based system can't run them. Then that way they can kind of again corner the handheld markets. People are like, well, I want to play FIFA, or EAFC, so therefore I'm gonna have to get a Windows-based device. I think in the short term, if they can do those things, eventually, if 95% of handhelds which are bought are Windows-based, that point they've got leverage then to just say, we're turning off the Steam store. We've got that market now, and that would really hurt Steam. So long term, they could kill them that way. I should take money.
But then Microsoft would never do that because of the amount of money that Steam brings them.
Steam? As in from the games that are purchased on that platform?
Well, not necessarily just on the platform, but just the hardware that's required to run them. Because Microsoft are always going to want their OS. Yeah, even if they have an alternative, but then it would still be silly, wouldn't it? Because then someone's going to bring out something. Everyone moved to some sort of Linux-based platform. It'd become more popular if they wanted to try and do that, which I just don't think they'd do.
Possibly, but the benefit is that if you buy a device that comes with SteamOS, you don't have to deal with the tinkering side, which I would be happy to do. Your average user is not going to run an Ubuntu-based machine at home where they've got to install Proton, they've got to install the actual Steam client, and then make sure that they've configured that to run an auto-update, and it's perfectly tuned for the hardware they've got. No one's going to do that.
Stop turning yourself on, Carl.
So I think Microsoft is still huge. Pardon. I do think it's a good move. I didn't think that for a while. I think the idea, like you said, about having your games wherever you go, whether that's a device capable of playing them for 2 or 3 hours before the battery goes kaput, or whether it's you've got Wi-Fi wherever you are and you can constantly stream to a really high level because they've got those kind of live streaming services like nailed down. And especially they've got an OLED screen. It needs to have an OLED screen. 120 Hz, please.
I mean, if it's a different screen between the two options, that'd be disappointing.
I think I watched a Linus Tech Tip video on it. Let's see. Asus ROG Xbox Ally X screen. It lacks an OLED screen. Oh no.
I mean, the Switch 2, if anything's kind of given me hope that won't be too bad, but it feels silly to not have that.
At that price?
At that price, yeah.
Who throws a shoe? Yeah. Honestly.
Interesting. Yeah, I think final point from my side on it, it's like similar to like the meeting we had yesterday where they were considering like personas of people that were interacting with their software. I'm thinking of personas of people that interact with Microsoft or Xbox as a brand. And the mass market of people are the FIFA players, the Minecraft players, the people that just want to go on there and play Rocket League with their friends and that kind of experience. So they see a new handheld that come out and they go, right, that's the new Xbox because it's pitched with a dock, and they go, right, I know what the Switch 2 is, Switch is, I get that ecosystem, so therefore it's going to do the same things I can do. Then if there's any sort of difficulty in, well, anti-cheat, and this is how it works, and I need to plug this in differently, and this is the OS that I need to run, and this doesn't feel like an Xbox to me. It feels like a ROG that is running the software that is Xbox now. That's another part that I think might push people away, because again, there's not a new Xbox Series X Pro out that makes it easy for a consumer to still identify with Xbox. This is just for the likes of you, basically, who are early adopters. You want to push the boundaries in terms of tech, and your games need to look a certain way, fidelity, for you to be happy with them. I don't think the console they're about to sell, the handheld they're about to sell, is something that most people want. And when I say most people, I mean that first persona.
Because I mean, in truth, I mean that if you look at like what's it, GPD in China? Oh, they call this a brand in China. It's got a 3-letter acronym. It could be GPD. They produce like really potent Windows-based handhelds for years, and they are genuinely interesting. They've got one like with a slide-up screen. Like, remember the old Sidekick?
Okay, yeah.
Now what's it looking? Well, have a look. So, oh my god. Will you stop strumming away there? So, so people have had these standard devices available, and maybe you're right. Maybe it depends on the branding. If they brand it as an Xbox, maybe that'll work. But time will tell.
90% of Xbox owners won't have watched that video the other day. 90% of Xbox owners playing Madden, FIFA, at a push, Tony Hawk's, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I'm just thinking, like, if that is the value proposition that you've got, is that you're going to put Game Pass on a handheld, I'm not sure that's enough.
Yeah, well, that's not the aim though. You don't put a 8-core, 16-thread APU with 16 GPU cores if you're just going to use it for Game Pass. That is definitely designed to play games locally. It is.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'd be a tiny thin device like the.
No, I get it.
The one,
but then the
Logitech did one, the G Cloud.
Yeah, but then the aim is for you to download the Xbox game onto that handheld and play it. Native, locally, whatever. Which you can do on the Xbox app, can't you? In Windows, you can do that.
You can stream it, or
that's basically what Game Pass is, isn't it? It's regardless of what the hardware is, PC or the Xbox itself. Like that's how you're doing it. You're downloading it to it, or you can choose to stream it. It's going to be interesting. Like, I think it's fascinating where the market's going, and in terms of hardware, I'm completely behind everything being handheld because that just is convenient. And at the moment, Sony need to figure out what they're doing, and hopefully the next handheld that comes out in line with the PS6, which feels like the timing of it, based on some of the rumors that are online. If you can do the same thing and download those games locally and play something on the move, then that would be fantastic. But if anything, it's going to be a battle between Xbox and Steam in the next few years. So, go figure. Witcher 4 tech demo, very, very quickly, because we're going to overshoot. We're going to talk about games, but
ridiculous, really, what we've done.
Yeah. So, what was the name of the event that it happened? It was what was it? Unreal something or other.
I just saw the tech demo, which for.
So it's a developer-specific event. Is basically
State of Unreal.
That was it. So it was an Unreal one. So a lot of people kind of going, oh, well, the game's not going to look like this. I think that's the whole point, is that it's not about what the game's going to look like. It's about CD Projekt Red showcasing what that technology can do. And obviously, Unreal have probably asked them to do it. And that's what they kind of came up with. And it looked insane. I think that was just everything from the way that the fabrics moved.
Say the line.
What?
It looks unreal.
Yeah. Missed it. It did look unreal. I think I've not seen anything like that in terms of how detailed and how deep it looked. And it just makes me very, very excited for like the next raft of games. Probably not even in this generation, but the next generation again. Of going like, oh, you know what? We're not far away from that. I doubt that's going to be playable or look that good playable. But I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's absolutely stunning. Yeah. It looks like gameplay though. I mean, it generally does. But I think it looks amazing. And if it's anything like that, it's getting close, isn't it? It's getting closer. I think growing up, you always think about how games are going to look in a few years' time. Will they look realistic? It still looks like a game, but
yeah, I think it needs to as well. I think that's one of my kind of like hopes, is that games still look like games. Like, I like hyperrealism, but also I'm quite happy with things still remaining not too spooky, because I think every game, any action adventure game, is going to be scary if it's hyper real. Because there's no way you can put a monster in that attacking a human like character and it not be absolutely fucking petrifying every
time. Well, you sold your PSVR 2, so you'll be okay.
Yeah, it will be. But even then, the graphics through that, there's not ever been anything that I've kind of jumped out at out of fear, because it's grainy as hell. So it'll be interesting.
I mean, sorry, what was that game that we were playing where we were scared?
Repo.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that is true, Dan.
Yeah, but that's just funny, scary. That's hilarious. I think that was a very fun game.
I didn't like it.
Speaking of very fun games, so you have finished it now, but Clair Obscur, where's it kind of like? Because we've never really spoke about your top 10 games, but is it ranking in top 10 in terms of like what you played? Considering you've never really played as many JRPGs, I think, as I have.
No, I mean, one of my favourite games growing up was the demo of Legend of Dragoon on PS2. I did a top 10 at some point. If you remember, in the group chat we did like images of top 10, and mine got lambasted. So,
Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Green.
How dare you? I'm a man of culture.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
18 plus. Would it be in a top 10?
You caught Fritzl. That was funny. That wasn't like that dark. They're fine with it now. They're listeners. They're okay.
They're the daughters.
Yeah.
Or the mother. Yeah. Same person. So, top 10. I'm not sure top 10. I loved it. It was nice. It was nice having that urge when I had free time to close the blinds, turn off the lights, and
get the moisturiser out.
No.
No.
Get the headphones on. I loved the soundtrack. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
In fact, I spent a little bit of time afterwards feeling melancholic, just watching the videos on YouTube of them doing it live. The soundtrack. We're not back to the drawing the blinds moment. Game wise, I think it looks beautiful. It took me a long time to get used to the combat. At points, oh my god, it was frustrating. Like missing like a parry after the 10th time that this boss has killed you. That was brutal. But yeah, what a story as well. At no point did I ever get it right.
It does such a simple thing of like when you get back to camp in that game of allowing you just to interact very briefly with certain characters, and then you can, if you choose to, have a prolonged kind of conversation with them and build on that relationship. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I'm aware. But within that, I'm kind of going, well, that isn't AAA. None of that part felt ever AAA, but it worked, and it worked really well. And it was because it was really concise, it was very well written, and it was just fun to kind of do. So, I'm still playing this, by the way.
You know you are. That's why I'm not going to go into any of the latter stuff. Did you see that they got a bit of flack for their hiring policies?
No.
They tried to, I say the media tried to Dragon Age Veilguard them and say that they had very selective hiring policies. And I think the story died down, but it just really annoyed me because like I just finished the game and I was really happy with it. And I thought I was going to have to hate it, but seemingly it's okay because it didn't catch.
Didn't have to.
Didn't catch. I still like it now. Yeah. Didn't get cancelled. Expedition 34 will come. It won't. Because that would have been the year before, because that's how the numbering convention works in a game.
Okay. You temporarily tried to ruin that for me there. You better not have. Hopefully not.
I didn't, because you should already know that the numbers go the other way. The first expedition was 00, and then it was 99, 98. So 34, Daniel.
I'm aware, mate. I'm aware. But fundamentally, you're happy with it, which is good.
Yeah, free game.
Yeah. Not free game. Okay. I'm still playing it. I'm a good way behind you because I think you just power through over the weekend when I've got children and you've got rabbits. So I think that was the part where you kind of overtook me. But I'm still planning on finishing it. I think in the next
Where are you up to?
week or so.
You've got to finish it. You've got to finish it.
I'm at the house where I've just found out about Verso's parent.
Renoir.
Yes. Well, that's a spoiler
Wait.
now. That's why I tried to be.
We're just talking about it.
Yeah, but still spoilers, so...
That's like the middle of the game. There's well more important stuff than that. Jesus. Anyway, sorry to everybody who's going to be disappointed by that, but it's not really that important. It's vital to the story actually, but that's just crack on.
But yeah, I'm there.
Wait, when you say you're at the house, so
I've just had that fight with him.
Did you win?
Yes.
Did you have to drop down to easy?
No. I was.
Well done.
That was tough. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? I think it took me 3 times to do that one.
Yeah, it's when the faces appear. I was like, da, da, da. The chroma faces.
It's been a long time since I had that fight.
Yeah.
You mean outside the manor?
It's been a long time. Yes, outside the manor. Yeah.
So you come down the hill and you just see that random house.
Yeah, and she's like,
Okay.
"Oh, what's this?" And then he runs in, tries to get into the house. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, great seeing that.
Mail.
Did you Mael? Did you go before you do that? You can turn left, and then there's like a door into the actual manor. You unlock that room.
Oh no, not done that. No.
If you've already completed it, then it's too late now because obviously things have
gone on it.
Oh, spoiler.
Evaporated. Yeah, so I think it's fantastic. Storyline's amazing, and I'm just enjoying kind of like savouring it. I think it's probably the point to make of just going like, right,
You're taking it slow.
Yeah, that's okay. So that's Clair Obscur. You put deals on here. Did we update the deals? Or did you just?
Didn't. But clearly, there is no greater deal of the week than buying one Nintendo Switch and getting 2.
That is a pretty good deal.
It's a great deal.
Great deal.
The best deal.
How did that happen, Carl?
Don't want to go into
it. Okay. Fine. Well, hopefully nobody catches up to you. I bought the Magic the Gathering booster box for Final Fantasy. You know.
Nice.
I don't know when I'm going to open that, but I feel I will do at some point. Because there's some very, very valuable cards in there.
Get it unwrapped.
Pardon? But
we need to plan some time for the 26th. The 26th of this month. 25th of this month. F1 the movie.
25th of the month. Oh, you want to go watch it?
Oh, I do. I never go to the cinema, but for that I'll make an exception.
Okay, well, I'll do that then. I'll be fine. I'll go and watch it with you.
Oh no, I didn't mean with you.
Pardon?
Excuse me.
Hey. All right. Well, we've been casual mode. Say bye, Carl.
I wanted to talk more about Clair Obscur, but all right, bye.
No, you don't. Stop fibbing.
I did. We're not going to talk about it again now, are we?
Well, yeah. When I finish it, then we can do a spoiler.
You're never going to finish it. You'll never finish it. You'll
okay.
You'll
on that.
Something else will come up. And you'll go, "Oh no, I'm playing Polly Pocket now." I'll go, "All right, how is that?" And you go, "You know what? It's really great. I love the soundtrack. I love how easy going. It doesn't take itself very.
If you like what we do, please like and subscribe the video. That's all we're asking. Or go on casual mode, 1 or 2. Like it's casual mode. UK. Anyway, where can people find you, Carl?
Bye.
Bye, everyone. That was weird.